Before the world knew her as Marilyn Monroe, she was simply Norma Jean Mortensen, a little girl born in Los Angeles in 1926. Her earliest days were marked by uncertainty and chaos, set against the backdrop of a city bursting with dreams but also shadows. In the heart of 1920s Los Angeles, Norma Jean entered a world that was both glamorous and unforgiving, a place where hope and hardship often walked hand in hand. Her mother, Gladys, was a woman haunted by her own struggles with mental illness. Unable to provide the stability and care her daughter needed, Gladys's battles left Norma Jean adrift. The little girl was shuffled from one foster home to another, and sometimes to orphanages, never knowing where she might sleep next or who would care for her tomorrow. Each new place brought unfamiliar faces and uncertain rules, making it impossible for Norma Jean to feel truly safe or wanted. She never knew the comfort of a permanent family, only the ache of being unwanted. Nights were often spent lying awake, listening to the quiet sounds of other children, wondering if anyone would ever come for her. The emptiness of those years left a mark on her heart, a longing for connection that would shape her entire life. Even brief moments of happiness, like her time with the Bolanders, a kind foster family who offered her a glimpse of normalcy, were fleeting. Just as she would begin to feel at home, circumstances would change, and she would be uprooted once again. The warmth of a family meal, the laughter of a shared joke, these were rare treasures that slipped through her fingers all too quickly. The loneliness of her childhood planted a deep need for love and validation. She would often gaze out the window, watching other children play with their parents, yearning for a sense of belonging. This longing became a driving force in her life, a silent wish that echoed through every chapter of her story. In the Los Angeles orphans' home, Norma Jean felt invisible, just another forgotten child among many. The institution was cold and impersonal, a place where children's dreams were often overshadowed by the daily struggle to be noticed. She learned to keep her hopes close, hidden from a world that seemed indifferent to her pain. Yet, even in these bleak surroundings, Norma Jean found small ways to escape. She would lose herself in books, scribble her dreams in a worn notebook, or draw pictures of a happier life. These quiet acts of imagination became her refuge, a way to hold on to hope when everything else felt uncertain. These hardships fueled her determination to be seen, to become unforgettable. The pain of being overlooked became the spark that ignited her ambition. She promised herself that one day, the world would know her name, and she would never be invisible again. Norma Jean dreamed of transforming her pain into a new life, one where she would be adored by the world. She imagined a future where the applause of strangers would fill the emptiness left by a childhood of neglect, and where her smile would light up the silver screen. The journey from invisible orphan to icon began with a simple, desperate wish: to be loved. It was this wish that carried Norma Jean through the darkest days and ultimately set her on the path to becoming Marilyn Monroe. Norma Jean's life changed during World War II, working in a factory while her husband served overseas. A photographer, David Conover, spotted her at the radioplane company, instantly captivated by her natural charm. His photos revealed a spark that set her apart from the other workers. Encouraged by Conover, she signed with the Blue Book Model Agency in 1945. She learned to pose, dyed her hair blonde, and quickly became a sought-after pinup girl. Modeling gave her a sense of control and the first taste of public admiration. The camera loved her, and she began to love herself in front of it. This was her first real escape from Norma Jean's insecurities. The factory girl faded. A new persona was emerging. The world was about to meet Marilyn Monroe. Hollywood soon noticed Norma Jean's photogenic allure. Her natural beauty and captivating smile set her apart from the crowd of hopefuls. And it wasn't long before she was being called in for auditions and photo shoots. Even in a city overflowing with ambition, there was something undeniably special about her presence, an innocence mixed with a quiet determination that drew people in. In 1946, a pivotal screen test at 20th Century Fox changed everything. Studio executives saw potential in Norma Jean, but they also saw the need for reinvention. It was here that she was given a new name, Marilyn Monroe, a name that would soon become synonymous with glamour and stardom. The transformation was more than just a marketing move, it was the birth of an icon. The transformation was more than cosmetic, it was a reinvention, a shield against her painful past. Marilyn learned to use makeup, fashion, and poise as armor, carefully crafting a new identity that would help her survive in the cutthroat world of Hollywood. Each day she stepped further away from Norma Jean, embracing the persona that would captivate millions. Marilyn was confident, glamorous, and magnetic, everything Norma Jean longed to be. She dazzled on red carpets and in front of the camera, exuding a confidence that belied her insecurities. The world saw a star, but behind the scenes, Marilyn was still learning how to navigate fame, using her new persona as both a mask and a source of strength. Early roles were small, but she worked tirelessly, determined to prove her talent. Marilyn spent countless hours rehearsing lines, studying scripts, and observing seasoned actors on set. She was eager to learn, always striving to improve her craft, and never taking any opportunity for granted. Her dedication did not go unnoticed by directors and fellow actors alike. She changed her hair, her walk, even her voice, crafting a persona built for stardom. Marilyn's platinum blonde hair became her signature, and she worked with vocal coaches to perfect her breathy, unforgettable tone. Every detail was intentional, from the way she moved to the way she laughed, all designed to leave a lasting impression on audiences and industry insiders. Memorable performances in The Asphalt Jungle and All About Eve got her noticed. These roles, though brief, showcased her ability to light up the screen and hinted at the star she was becoming. Critics and audiences alike began to take note, and Marilyn's reputation as a rising talent grew with each new appearance. Marilyn Monroe was a carefully constructed ideal, designed to be unforgettable. Her image graced magazine covers and movie posters, and her name became a symbol of Hollywood's golden age. But behind the dazzling smile and flawless style was a woman who had worked relentlessly to create her own destiny. The transition was strategic but also deeply personal, a way to survive and thrive. For Marilyn, becoming a star was not just about fame, it was about finding a place in the world, about transforming pain into power. She poured her hopes and fears into her performances, making every role a reflection of her journey. Norma Jean was gone, Marilyn Monroe was ready for her close-up. The world was watching, and she was determined to shine brighter than anyone before her. With every take, every photograph, she stepped further into legend. A star was born, and Hollywood would never be the same. Marilyn Monroe's rise was meteoric, and her legacy would echo through the decades, inspiring generations to come. The early 1950s marked Marilyn Monroe's meteoric rise. Breakout roles in Niagara, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and How to Marry a Millionaire made her a box office sensation. Her performance of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend became legendary. The 7-Year Itch cemented her as a pop culture icon, with the famous white dress scene. She embodied glamour, vulnerability, and comedic charm, captivating audiences worldwide. Behind the scenes, Marilyn fought to be taken seriously, studying acting and forming her own production company. She wanted more than to be a dumb blonde. She craved artistic respect and control. Marilyn Monroe was now the face of Hollywood's golden age. Marilyn Monroe's public image was Hollywood's ultimate creation. The platinum hair, beauty mark, and breathy voice became her signature. Studios and agents crafted her as the perfect blend of innocence and sex appeal. Roles in films like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and The 7-Year Itch reinforced the blonde bombshell stereotype. Marilyn understood the power of her persona, famously saying, "It takes a smart brunette to play a dumb blonde." For a time, the adoration she received was everything she'd dreamed of, but the line between character and reality blurred, trapping her in a golden cage. The world saw only the fantasy, missing the complex woman beneath. Marilyn longed to be understood as more than an image. The persona that made her a star also became her prison. Behind the glamour, Marilyn battled deep loneliness and mental health struggles. Fame intensified her isolation. She was adored as an icon but rarely loved as a person. Anxiety, depression, and stage fright haunted her, making work agonizing. To cope, she turned to prescription drugs, creating a dangerous cycle. Her marriages to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller ended in heartbreak, her longing for family unfulfilled. Miscarriages and public scrutiny left her little space to heal. Studios controlled her career, often forcing her into roles she disliked and underpaying her. The pressure to be perfect was relentless, eroding her well-being. The spotlight she craved cast long, painful shadows. Fame demanded everything from Marilyn Monroe. She lived under constant surveillance, her every move scrutinized and judged. The public owned her image, leaving her no privacy or room for mistakes. Her struggles on set were labeled as unprofessional, not as cries for help. Relationships suffered, trust was rare, and genuine connection elusive. Even her marriages crumbled under the weight of her celebrity. The relentless demands of stardom contributed to her tragic death at 36. Marilyn became trapped by the fantasy she embodied. The price of her fame was her peace, her privacy, and ultimately, her life. Her story is a sobering reminder of the dark side of celebrity. Marilyn Monroe became more than a movie star. She was a cultural icon, a symbol of both the dazzling promise and the hidden cost of fame. Her name conjures images of old Hollywood glamour, but also whispers of vulnerability and longing. She was a woman who captivated the world, not just with her beauty, but with her enigmatic presence, a presence that continues to haunt and inspire decades after her passing. Her look defined Hollywood glamour, setting the standard for elegance and allure. The platinum hair, the red lips, the sparkling eyes, these became the hallmarks of an era. Her photos are among the most recognizable ever taken, instantly evoking a sense of nostalgia and wonder. Yet behind every iconic image was a woman searching for acceptance, for love, and for a sense of belonging in a world that often saw only her surface. What endures is the complexity, the orphan who became a legend, the light and shadow in her story. Born Norma Jean, she faced hardship and instability from a young age, moving through foster homes and longing for a family of her own. That journey from obscurity to stardom is woven with both triumph and tragedy, making her story as compelling as any role she played on screen. Her life is both a rags-to-riches inspiration and a cautionary tale of fame's cost. She rose from humble beginnings in 1940s Los Angeles, transforming herself through determination and resilience. But the spotlight that illuminated her also cast deep shadows, exposing her to relentless scrutiny and personal struggles that fame could never erase. Artists, writers, and musicians continue to find inspiration in her image and story. From Andy Warhol's pop art to countless songs and novels, Marilyn's legacy is woven into the fabric of creative expression. She is a muse for those who see in her both the glittering surface and the depths beneath, a reminder of the power and peril of dreams. She's been immortalized in art, music, and pop culture, transcending her own era. Her face appears on murals in fashion and in the melodies of songs that echo her spirit. Each generation rediscovers Marilyn, finding new meaning in her story and new inspiration in her image. Marilyn represents the beautiful, broken soul loved by all but understood by few. Her laughter could light up a room, yet her eyes often revealed a deeper sadness. She embodied the paradox of being adored by millions while feeling alone in a crowd, a feeling that resonates with anyone who has ever longed to be truly seen. She embodies the contradictions of modern celebrity, power and vulnerability, fantasy and reality. On set, she was magnetic and commanding, yet behind the scenes, she wrestled with doubts and insecurities. Marilyn's life reminds us that the brightest stars often cast the darkest shadows, and that true strength can exist alongside fragility. Her legend was forged in Hollywood's bright lights, but it's the shadows that make her unforgettable. The contrast between her public persona and private struggles gives her story a timeless, haunting quality. She remains a symbol of both the magic and the mystery of fame. Marilyn Monroe remains an enduring icon, endlessly fascinating to every generation. Her story is a mirror reflecting our dreams, our fears, and our fascination with the people who live in the spotlight. Decades after her passing, her legacy continues to shine, reminding us that true icons are never forgotten. They are continually reborn in the hearts and imaginations of those who follow. Marilyn Monroe's story is a timeless lesson about fame, identity, and the need for acceptance. She showed the world a dazzling persona while privately battling pain and insecurity. Her life reminds us that public image rarely tells the whole story. Despite her hardships, she was fiercely ambitious, building her career through relentless effort. Marilyn's journey is a testament to self-creation and resilience. Her struggles highlight the dangers of celebrity culture and the importance of compassion. Ultimately, she was an orphan who became a global icon, loved by millions, understood by few. Her light endures not just for its brilliance, but because it was born from darkness.